guys, welcome back to the channel. How are you today? Oh, I'm a little bit nervous. I'm doing a video that I was way too scared to do for the longest time. I don't really know why. I was just like, eh. I am doing a reacting to reading your assumptions about me. So I went on Instagram and asked for some assumptions, and we're gonna go through as many of them as we can. I almost certainly won't be able to do all of them, but let's just dive right in and see what we can get. So hopefully there's nothing too bad in there. So there are a whole bunch of you guys just buttering me up and being very sweet and just saying nice things like, Assumption, you're a really lovely person, things like that. I see you, I appreciate you, I'm blushing. But of course I won't go through all of those ones and just sit and inflate my own ego. So we'll go for the ones that are like, you know, other things. But thank you for all the very sweet comments. I am dying. Okay, assumption number one. It's hard for you to get mad at people and show them that you're mad. I would say so, like in sort of multiple different ways. For one, when it comes to like friends and stuff, it would take a lot to make me like actually mad. Like, you know, I imagine there's like, you know, like smaller things that might make me a little bit like, well, that was rude or something, but you know, I'm not actually mad. It would take like quite a lot for me to get like actually mad. And if I were, I would really definitely struggle to like actually let someone know that I was mad at them. The next one, you feel insecure in large groups of people. Definitely. I am very like, I went into town for like basically the first time since March, since like the whole quarantine started the other day, because I needed to get some things. I forgot it was a Saturday, and I've lost any small amount of social confidence I ever had. Like, I was so nervous, I was sweating, I was like shaking walking around town. Oh, it was awful. Depending on the outfit, you either smell like earth/spices or sugary sweets. Yes, definitely. I definitely tailor my perfumes to my outfits, and like whenever I was younger I only liked very sugary smelling perfumes, but these days I really like a very wide range of scents, and definitely I'll have some that are very like dark and earthy and like, you know, spicy and mysterious, and I'll have some that are just straight up like bubble gum. So yes, absolutely. You used to be insecure about your height, but you're not anymore. No, actually, if anything, it's almost the other way around. So growing up, like, I always loved being tall, and it was like a mark of pride for me. It's only sort of in like recent years that I've actually started to feel like a little bit sort of self-conscious about it, just because people are kind of sucky. But still not that much, and I'll still wear my platforms, and everyone else can just shut up or I'll stand on them. So you have separate playlists for goth/heavy music and kawaii music. Weirdly, I actually don't think I have like a kawaii music kind of playlist, like with all my sort of like bouncy like J-pop stuff, now that you mention it, which is weird. But in general, yes, I definitely have like a lot of separate playlists to fit very specific moods. I think the closest thing I would have to that would be I have like a really cheesy pop, like late 90s, early 2000s pop playlist. So I guess that would be the closest, but it's not quite kawaii. You're not a PDA type of person. Actually, no, I really don't mind PDA, but it to a point is the thing, I guess. They're like different levels. There's like types of PDA where like I think it's like super cute. I'm like, oh, there's types where I'm kind of neutral about it, but whenever it starts sort of bordering on anything like sexual, then I'm like, no, not in public, no. Like, you know, people who are like full on like making out like in public, where it's like properly like eating each other's faces or any like sort of inappropriate rubbing or anything, that's where like I get uncomfortable, and I'm like, no. But whenever it's like holding hands or like little kisses or like little forehead kisses or anything like that, I think that's super cute. But yeah, it's just whenever it gets a little more raunchy that I'm like, not in public. You love to read, but you don't do it very often because you never seem to get to it. Not just that, but I do, yes, I love to read. I don't do it very often, yes. But it's not even just not getting around to it, it's also just there's so many days where I can't concentrate on it. I'll read the same page over and over again, but my mind keeps wandering off somewhere else, and so I'm just not absorbing the information, and I just give up. So I used to love reading so much when I was younger, but just these days especially, my brain is just, it's always off somewhere else. I assume you probably smell really flowery. Sometimes. Actually, one of my favorite perfumes that I used to have years ago, and I haven't had since, that I recently repurchased because I was like, oh, is one just called Rose by Paul Smith, and it's just like a straight up rose smell, and it's so nice. And I also have, I don't know where I put it, but also I wore that one today with a lilac perfume that just literally smells like a lilac bush. So yes, today I definitely smell very flowery. I assume you're a perfectionist and you only release half of what you film. I've been caught out. Yeah, definitely. There's like a lot of stuff that I record that there's a lot of stuff that I record that just never sees the light of day because I'm just not happy with it. And especially if it's like videos that are outside of like my usual thing. So if it's not like, you know, a haul or unboxing or a thing where I've kind of got the format down pat, if it's like, you know, maybe talking about a specific topic or something, those videos so often get trashed because I just haven't done it perfectly. So nope, off into the bin it goes. So definitely. And on top of that, the whole perfectionism thing, there's a lot of videos that I have had in my head that I've wanted to do for years that I haven't even managed to film to put in the bin because I just can't find a way to execute it in a way that would be good enough that I'd be happy with it. You haven't always been a goth. No, pretty much like ever since I was old enough to find my own style and understand subcultures and stuff. Yeah, no, like sort of about 10 years old is when I remember kind of finding that world. I've always like spooky things growing up. I think around 10 is when that kind of started. And certainly over the years I've experimented with different types of like fashion and stuff outside of goth, and I still do. But like I would never have considered myself like those things. Like I'll dress in different styles and stuff, but in terms of like the subculture I feel I fit into and just my tastes and my life in general, I don't know. All of that just, yeah, no, it's pretty much always been goth. You resent yourself for your ADHD and doubly resent how long the diagnosis process took. Yeah, more than you guys know. Try not to ruin the video by getting super deep, but definitely like as a direct result of like, I don't know, like the symptoms of ADHD or the things I struggle with because of ADHD, something in that realm, I hate myself pretty much every day. Some days worse than others. Sometimes it's really bad. I pretty much always feel useless, like I should be able to do a lot more than I than I do or I can. And sometimes it just flat out makes me feel like a shitty person. And we're moving on. Next up is you secretly don't trust blonde people. I can't say that's a thought that's ever crossed my mind, no. I think besides being goth, you're 70% into mainstream culture. No. I mean, I don't really know what mainstream culture is, but I'm willing to say no. The vast majority of my interests would fall under things that would be considered stereotypically goth in one way or another. It's not like I'm trying to seek out things because they're goth. It just so happens that most of the things I enjoy tend to fall into that sort of realm, which is why I, identify with that particular subculture, is just because it seems to be a good fit for the things I like. And then, I don't know, even for the small amount of things then that would be outside of spooky crap, I don't really know if it would fall into mainstream. I don't really know what would count as mainstream. But just generally, no. I don't fully understand what you mean, but no. You hate children. Look, for the people who have kids who always get upset with this, it's not like I am horrible to children. If a child is around me, I'm going to be mean to it or anything. I will try to be nice. Saying that, I did recently threaten to punch a child in the throat, but that was justified, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. But, yeah, I will try to be nice to kids, but yeah, I don't like them. I don't have the patience generally for kids. A lot of the things that kids typically do just irritate me, and beyond that, I'm just not good with kids. I don't really know how to talk to them, and I also feel very awkward when I try, and I'm not good with kids. So I'm pretty sure there was at least one person in here asking if Jake and I are ever gonna have kids. You can always tell the fresh blood. No, kids are not in my plans. But yeah, so I don't want people to be mad because I don't like kids, which does happen a lot, but it's just they're not for me. I know my limits and I know that I don't do well with them, so it's just not for me. The kid I threatened to punch in the throat, listen, that was a specific circumstance. I was down in the park with Victoria, and this group of really little kids came up. I'm bad at guessing children's ages. These kids could have been anywhere between 5 and 9, quite frankly. I'm just bad. But they were definitely young. They're at the point, where they can speak in full sentences, but it kind of comes out as a bit of a struggle. If you get what age is that? I don't know. Yeah, and this group of kids comes over and they're all oh, about the swan, and they start asking questions, and I'm being nice and I'm answering the questions. But then one of them is can I touch her? And I was no. And he was does she bite? And I was yes. And then he said, well, if she bit me, I'd punch her in the throat. So I said, well, if you punch her, I'll punch you in the throat. Which I think is fair. Moving on. Likes bugs, except one kind that makes you go, gah, kill it, kill it, kill it. Yes, spot on, actually. I like almost every creature on this earth, but wasps. I will never like wasps. There's nothing you can say that will make me like wasps. I don't care. I don't care what articles you pull up. I hate them. I have had nothing but bad experiences with them. I think I sometimes get confused when it comes to what Americans consider wasps, because I know there are multiple types of wasps, but whenever I say wasp, it seems to be closer to what Americans call a yellow jacket. It's, if you just Google European wasp and you'll see the one I'm talking about. Those things, no. No, I've had so many bad experiences. They do just come and sting you for no reason. I don't care what anyone says. There's so many times I've been bothering no one and one has just started harassing me. I hit them. Also one time, whenever I was young, they'd built a nest in like a pile of rubble, which I didn't know about, and I stood on the pile of rubble and like 7 of them got inside my clothes and kept stinging me over and over again, and that trauma will last forever. Actually, that's not the only time something similar has happened. The other time I didn't do anything, there was no nest, but one wasp got inside my shirt and started stinging me everywhere, and so yeah, just, oh god, I keep feeling I think I can feel things crawling on me now. But pretty much everything else I love. Spiders, love them. Gently pick them up, put them somewhere safe in the house. Don't even put them outside because I don't want them to be cold. But wasps, they must die. You're rather shy at first around new people. Yes, definitely. This one's just interesting. So the assumption is that your skin is super soft. So for that assumption, like, I don't know, I have days where it feels really soft and some days where it feels crap, and it's just, there seems to be like no in between, so I don't really know with that one. But they said that your voice sounds purple and I love it, and that's just really interesting and I really like that, so I just wanted to include it. I get the vibe that you secretly love the color pink. Secretly. You don't get along with other goth content creators. I don't know, really. I don't even know who's still making content and who's not. I know definitely that there have been a couple of goth content creators who have been fucking arseholes to me. But it's not even really a case of like not getting along with them then, because I just avoid them. But in general, aside from those handful, I don't really have beef with anyone. I don't speak to a lot of people, but that's because I don't really speak to anyone online, because I'm bad at maintaining conversations, so I just don't start them anymore. So there's a lot of people that I'm like friendly or neutral with, but don't necessarily like ever have conversations with, but I like them perfectly well, but now I'm like, God, I hope they know that I like them, and don't think that I don't like them because I never talk to them, because that's just a personality flaw in me in general. So in general, no. Like I said, I've had like a couple of people be shitty with me, but other than that, I assume that you're really into nature and could have been a hippie child. Yes. Oh no, my phone died! Oh, right, I'm gonna go get a little bit of charge in this so we can continue. But yes, absolutely, like, tree-hugging, tie-dye wearing, multicolored Dr. Martens, just Steiner hippie child, absolutely. That was how I was raised, and although the outside doesn't always match it these days, although I do sort of love the whole hippie goth thing on occasion, is still very much a deep part of my heart. I'm sorry if I keep looking over at the, not at the actual camera like this, and I'm looking like this. It always tries to focus on Josephine, so I'm like subconsciously always watching to make sure the box is on my face. Right, let me go charge this and then we'll be back with more. Okay, it's been a while, I am back. We should have enough charge to finish this, hopefully. So there is a lot in the realm of me being shy, and for everyone suggesting that, yes, generally I am. You like pink more than black? Probably not. Like, I love pink, but I don't think, like, definitely, like, if I had to choose between only wearing pink for the rest of my life and only wearing black for the rest of my life, it would be black. So yeah, I don't think I could say for that one. You're into daddy dom / little girl. I'm trying to figure out what I can say. I don't want anyone to get mad at me for kink shaming, so I'm just gonna leave the answer to this one simple and say no. No. No, 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 no. Moving on. Two from the same person here. You're impatient. You're incredibly clumsy. Way to just read me. Yes, yes, and yes, yes, yes. You don't believe in marriage. No, it's not that I don't believe in marriage or anything. Like, you know, I know there are certainly probably benefits to it in some cases, and also some people just want to do it, and that's super cool too. I don't think it's something you need to believe in, really. It's just not something that I'm really planning on doing because I don't really like care about being married. And there was a time when, like, I've never really cared about the idea of being married. There was a time I liked the idea of a wedding, but kind of in more recent years I've actually thought like what that would actually be like, rather than like this like fantasy version of wedding. Whenever I try to think of like what would actually be involved in planning a wedding, it's like I don't think it's for me. So I need a different excuse to wear a big poofy dress. You tend to like more plain food and don't like anything spicy. No, so it's kind of like a two-part. I don't like plain food. The only time that I really like plain food is if I'm feeling really nauseous, and then I need like really plain food, like as plain as you can get, because that's like the only thing I can eat. But in general, I hate plain food. Jake likes plain food. I can't handle it. I need to like season everything. Like, he always makes fun of me whenever I'm cooking. He's like, "You're not a witch," because I'm there over my pots and pans with like all of my herbs and seasonings and spices. I can't leave food alone. I need to add things to it. But in terms of spicy food, I'm not really that fond of spice. I can eat spice. I'll go through the odd phase where I like put hot sauce on everything, but in general, I'm not a big fan of spicy food. It's like, I can take it or leave it, but I wouldn't typically choose it. But, you know, spice and flavor are two different things. Spice is a feeling. Spice is pain. In terms of, like, you know, spicy. I like flavor, but I don't like my mouth being burned. You're the mom of your friendship group. I don't know. I think it kind of depends. I think I can kind of switch. I think, honestly, in a lot of cases, I'm actually kind of like the baby of the friend group. But I don't know if that's just because a lot of the time I'm the youngest person. But also, I sort of, like, I always worry about, like, taking charge or being the one to, like, suggest plans, because then I just worry that I'm being bossy and everyone's just going along with what I said because I'm being bossy. So I kind of, you know what I mean? But then there are situations where I can definitely like switch into mom friend mode, I guess. So like, you know, I'd definitely be protective and stuff. So I'm not really sure. I have like this weird thing though, and it's so common on the internet now, but like, I really don't like being referred to as like mom or even like aunt or like big sister, or I don't really know why. Like, obviously if people say that, I know it's a good thing, so I don't resent them for saying it. Like, you know, I understand it's a compliment, but I don't like it, and it makes me feel really weird, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's like not liking the idea of being in like the position of like authority or like caregiver or whatever, because I feel I don't know, not like a baby, but like, you know what I mean? So it's like very strange whenever people are like, "Oh my god, mom, adopt me." I'm like, don't put me in that position. It's very, like I said, don't mind if you've said it to me, because I understand it's like from a good place, but yeah, on a personal level, I don't like it. I don't know why. I assume you found out what goth was from TV characters. I also assume you can sing lovely. I don't think so. I think the first sort of, like I said, I grew up like loving anything spooky. I think that my first exposure to like goth people was through people in real life. Like, there was one girl at my school, and then my friend Emma, who I'm actually friends with now, but I remember seeing her whenever I was little and she had like cool hair. I've told this story before. So it was more things like that. I can't really remember being exposed to a whole lot of like goth on TV, so probably not with that. In terms of singing, I'm much too shy to sing, so I don't even know if I can sing, because I never let myself actually try. Like, I'll, you know, sing stupidly, like along to songs, just like, you know, in a dumb way, but I don't try to like sing. You tried dressing normal but didn't feel like yourself. Not really. I mean, like, the only time I've dressed like normal is whenever it's been like for a specific reason. Like, I'm trying to like go undercover, like, for instance, like house viewings, I try to like really tone it down, because I don't want them to like look at me and assume I'll be like some weird irresponsible freak, which unfortunately is the world we live in. So, and other than things like that, I've never like tried to like go normal and like not be me, if that makes sense. I've had like some weird fashion experiments over the years, but none of them would be like normal. You're the loud friend. So, like, once I get to know people, I think I definitely can be. Sometimes I am just too loud, but like, whenever I catch myself being really loud and stuff, it really embarrasses me, actually, and I have like a bit of a thing about it, and I feel like really obnoxious, and it's just, I think sometimes I just have an issue with volume regulation. But yeah, so I definitely can be the loud friend, but then whenever I realize I'm being the loud friend, then I feel like really ashamed and kind of shrink back down into myself. There are too many to get through. I'm sorry, I'm doing as many as I can. You hate the feeling of wondering if you've annoyed/upset someone. Yes, that is like the worst feeling, and it like, oh, it drives me crazy, because I feel like I deal with guilt just in general really badly. I feel guilty over like everything all of the time. I just have real issues with guilt. So whenever it feels like someone's like maybe annoyed with me or something, and I don't know why, I just like spiral into this horrible like guilty mess where I can't figure out what I've done, but I must have done something, and it's awful. I hate it. You think that you're not like other girls. No, not at all. Like, sure, like, you know, I'm a bit quirky and eccentric, but, you know, I know that there are plenty of girls out there like me, and I wish I knew more of them in real life, because I'd be much happier if I had more friends who like the same things as me in real life. They're all out there all over the internet, but I need in-person people. You're secretly a dog person, but the aesthetic requires a cat. No. I generally say I'm both. Whenever it comes like, are you a cat person or a dog person? Look, I love all animals. I'm an animal person just in general, But if I absolutely had to choose between cat or dog, I would choose cat, and that has become very clear to me because my mum has a lovely dog. He's a sweetie. But good God, after spending like a day with him, anytime I'm around him, while I love him, whenever I finally come home and sit down and relax on the couch and my quiet little cat just gently sits in my lap without chaos, I'm like, ah. So I love dogs and they're super fun and I like to be around them, but I definitely overall prefer just the peaceful cuddliness of a cat. You're a very warm and gentle person and get upset when people think you're mean. Yeah, I don't like the idea of people thinking I'm mean. I saw like a question float, I think on Twitter or something the other day, like floating around just like out there for anyone, and it was like, would you rather have people think you're stupid or think you're mean? And like, while I hate people thinking I'm stupid, like one of my biggest pet peeves is people trying to explain things to me that I already know. I don't know why, but that drives me nuts. So I really don't like people thinking I'm stupid, but if I had to choose between people thinking I'm stupid or thinking I'm mean, I would rather have people think I'm stupid. Like, I hate the thought of people thinking I'm mean. Your dad is rich because you went to a Steiner school. No. My dad's a plumber. He worked like down in the shipyard a lot, I think, whenever I was a kid. So yeah, no, like we were definitely not anywhere near rich. Like, you know, I never... So I don't know that, but like I would assume that we would have just definitely been very much what you would consider working class, as far as I can tell. I don't know. But yeah, no, definitely like nowhere near like rich or wealthy. With Steiner, I think I was in on like some sort of like reduced fee. I don't know, it was like something where like I don't think the full amount had to be paid or something, but I really don't know the details of it, but something like that. But yeah. You're afraid of loud noises. Yes, and I don't know why, but I'm so jumpy with loud noises. I really hate it. Even just the sound of the door opening too quickly, it makes like a, I don't know how. Even just that noise will make me like jump out of my skin, and like whenever people are yelling at me, like I really hate it, and I flinch a lot, and I don't know why, because it like, and it used to drive my mum crazy because I did it as a kid as well, and I still do it. Like if someone's yelling at me, I tend to flinch, and she'd be like, why the fuck are you flinching? I've never raised, like, because you know, I was never hit or anything, she never raised a hand to me, but for some reason I would flinch. So just, I don't know, if people like yell at me, I flinch. If loud noises happen, I flinch and I jump, and I'm just a very jumpy, nervous, jumpy person. You can't swim. I can swim. I'm not an amazing swimmer. I can swim well enough that I won't drown, and I like swimming. It's just that I'm not good at like proper swimming, if that makes sense. I tend to just doggy paddle, but that's enough for me. So I'll get in the sea and I'll just doggy paddle away. I'm not good at like, you know, strokes and stuff like that, but I don't need to be. So yeah, I can swim well enough for me. Your taste in music is very versatile. Yes, that's a nice way of saying all over the place, but yes. You're afraid of physical work. I wouldn't say I'm afraid of it, I don't love it. Well, it depends. In general, it's like, it's not my favorite, I don't love it. I'm not like super afraid of it, but I prefer not to, but unless it's something that fits like one of my hyperfixations. If it's like if I get a project in mind that I'm really excited for that involves a lot of physical work, then I don't care and I'm like, yes, but if it's not something I'm that interested in, then yeah, I'm not like a fan. And the last one we'll do, because it's probably too many, I imagine I'll probably have to edit some out. You like to keep your privacy. I mean, I get, sorry, my back, ugh. I mean, yeah, like the things that I want to keep private, I want them to stay private, but I don't have like a ton of things that I'm super private about, if that makes sense. Like you guys, like, especially if you follow me on Twitter, God help you, like you guys probably know I am terrible for oversharing on the internet. So there's not like a whole lot that I'm like super private about, but sure, if there is something that I want to be private about, then I would like it to stay that way, I guess. Does that make sense? Okay, oh my God, I'm tired. I've been at this for a lot longer than I thought because of all the interruptions. So, that is me done. I'm sorry if this video was a million years long. I hope you enjoyed it though. Before you go, if you could check out my Patreon, I would love that very much. I would very much appreciate it. It is the best possible way to support this channel and keep these videos coming. Do leave a little comment. Let me know if anything in this surprised you or if it was all pretty much what you expected. Do give the video a little thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Also, let me know if you want like another one of these. Do you typically do more than one of these? I don't know, but I'll consider it for the future. And finally, if you're new here and you enjoyed this and you just like the vibes, do feel free to consider subscribing. We have a whole bunch of other videos here for you to check out and see if you still like what we've got going on. I don't know why I keep saying we, because it's me and like the lovely viewers, the lovelies. But like in terms of on the camera, it's just me. But if you enjoyed it, do consider subscribing. Check out the other videos first, see what you think. Join the family, we'd love to have you. I am going to go. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, lovelies!